Hi everyone, just a quick introduction of myself. My name is Herry Wiputra. Currently the Chief Product Technology Officer at hipages, but previously I was the Chief Information Officer at Campaign Monitor. Prior to that, I was actually at Melbourne, and yes, I migrated to Sydney because of the weather. That was 3 years ago. I was at REI. I was the head of technology back then. And I got tapped by Campaign Monitor because they want to grow. So I'm going to tell you guys the story of the journey of the transformation at Campaign Monitor. I'm by no means an expert. It's just something that we went through together, and just telling you the experience that we went through. So Campaign Monitor started about 14, 15 years ago by these two blokes, really lovely founders, really passionate about the product, and from day one, they really care about the customer. And been profitable from day one to the point that at some stage it was 70% EBITDA, which is massive. And Campaign Monitor was known as the Apple of email marketing. I know, it's email. I asked that question in the interview, why the hell are you guys still doing email? But turned out that a lot of the marketing people are still using emails as their primary channel. But Campaign Monitor is known as the Apple of email marketing. A really good interface, drag and drop, and make it really easy for people to create emails. And then in 2014, they got a funding, which is $250 million US, which is a record back then, massive. So there's a huge ambition for growth. So the growth that they want to do is a lot of personalization and a lot of targeting. So make sure that emails no longer become spammy, but make sure that it's highly targeted and highly personalized for people. And it sounds really great until you look at the infrastructure and the architecture, which haven't been refreshed for the last 12 years when I was there, and everything in a SQL server. And it's about 15 terabytes of data in the SQL server, and anything that you want to do in there, it's just going to crash the database. It's almost impossible to do anything that's going to do a lot of big data crunching. So with that funding, we grew the company from 50 people to 250 people. We grew the engineers from 20 to 70. We grew from one big feature team to 7 feature teams. We went from one big monolithic code base to many, many code bases. We went from one deployment per month to many deployments per day. From one big product release in a year to multiple small releases in a month. So yeah, before I joined, just actually the first week I joined, they just launched a new feature, and that took about 13 months to do. So yeah, unlike Brad, I came in with a lot of expectation that everything is crap. So, and this was a 24 months transformational journey. So, in order for us to grow and to scale and to unlock the growth that we need to create a really good engineering teams. And to me, a good engineering teams is not the strongest or the fittest, but it's the one that's most resilient to change. It's close to the customer, understand what they need, and be able to react to the change very, very quickly. And this is why I like the quote from Charles Darwin. And how do we grow? It's definitely not like that. That hierarchical structure is the inheritance we get from Frederick Winslow Taylor, the father of modern scientific management, where he believes that the management does the thinking and the people do the doing. And that's exactly why we see a lot of the companies still behaving that way. And that's not what we believe in how we're going to grow. What we believe is the right-hand side, which is create a team that deliver value directly to the customer. Operate in a way that you focus on the customer and deliver value. And that's the team, that's how we want to grow. So we decided to create more and more like that. Every team knows who the customer is and focus on delivering value for the customer. We call it self-organizing teams in Campaign Monitor. So there are 5 aspects of the journey that we did through the transformation. I'm going to go through each one of them. So the first one is culture. So one of the things that we want to do is create a culture of learning. I really like this quote from Eiji Toyoda, the president of Toyota. Before cars make people. If you invest in your people and if you grow them, they will build great things for you. And that's what we believe in. We invest a lot in the people and grow them. One thing that I said when I joined Campaign Monolith is, it's very easy for me to come in as an executive and change every person and just hire new people and bring all the people that I've worked with. But I think it's shit. It's not right. A lot of the problems actually with the system. And if you fix the system, you will let the people to do well. And that's what I believe in. We want to create a culture of experimentation. Everything an experiment. Do something, try something, test something, and fail, and learn from it. And we want to create a culture that obsesses with the customer. I really like that quote from Jack Welch. Don't kiss your CEO's ass, but focus on your customer. And for the leaders, you want to create a culture of inspiring. Stop telling people what to do. Stop micromanaging, but thinking and enabling them, unblocking them, care about them, inspiring them to do better, greater, and challenge them. On the people side, we look at how we do the hiring. Back then, when I joined, we only hired .NET engineers. That's the only thing we did. .NET engineers, and even has a clause in there like minimum 5 years experience or something like that. And I just like, why focus on a language? Why focus on a specific tool? It's like I'm saying, I'm hiring a carpenter to do a table, and I said, the carpenter role, he said, I'm just doing hammering. That's all I do. I can't do anything else. We want to hire people a problem solver. We want to create a culture of solving problems and getting shit done, really. So we want to hire people that has that attitude, not just the skill. And we want to challenge each engineer not to just focus in your specific domain, not focus on your specific skill set, but understand how the sausage is being made from end to end. That will make you a much better engineer and make you care about others as well. So we challenge everyone. If you need to touch the UI, touch the UI. If you need to touch the backend, touch the backend. You need to touch the mobile, touch anything. Give it a go, learn, and get better. On the structure, I strongly believe this quote from Deming, a bad system will beat a good person every time. As a leader, I believe our job is to create a good system for our people to thrive in. And many people blame the people straight away. Many leaders blame the people straight away. But a lot of the problems actually caused by the structure that the leaders create. So we change the structure. We move into cross-functional team, break down all the silos or the boundaries, make everyone work together, and make sure that each team has all the capabilities that they need to get things done and bring value to the customer. And within each team, we want to make sure that these three things is prevalent. So we got our inspiration from this book, Daniel Pink, Drive, Autonomy, Mastery, and Purpose. And Daniel Pink in that book says, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. Money can only get you so far. And at some stage, people no longer care about the money. It's really the intrinsic motivation that drives people. And there are three things that contribute to that, which is autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And this is what we believe in. Autonomy, we know exactly why, if you have a teenage kids, that's the reason why they leave the family at some stage, because they want their autonomy. They don't want to be told what to do. And we are all adults. We don't like to be told what to do. Mastery. Everybody wants to get better. That's why gamification works, right? Everybody just want to keep getting better and better in what they do. And purpose, if you know that you're doing something more than for yourself, and you're delivering value, you know you're gonna get motivated. So we try to create a bit of that championing, that structure within each of the cross-functional team. So we make sure that the product manager champion the purpose. Tell the team why. Sell it to the team. This is why it's super important to build this. This is why the customer, how much the customer going to benefit. Bring the people, bring the engineers to talk to the customer, so they believe in it. They believe on the purpose. The technical lead is in the team is going to keep challenging the team to get better and better in what they do, setting the bar of quality, setting the bar of practices. And the engineering manager is coaching the team to be autonomous, helping them to learn how to self-organize and getting out of the way. And at one stage, when we decided to split into multiple teams, we decided to take the plunge and the risk. We're just going to let people to choose which team they want to belong to. And that was a huge risk and something that I was really scared of, but let's do it. So what we did was we did a big workshop, massive, and then create 7 tables. And we lock in the product manager, the technical lead, and the engineering manager for each of the team. And they did a pitch. Everybody went up there and did a pitch. This is our mission. This is what we're going to do. This is what we believe in. If we do this, this is how we're going to be successful and deliver value for our customer. And then everybody did that. Everybody went to the table, and the people just went to the table and put their icon in it. This is what I want to join. This is what I believe in, and I want to contribute. It took us a couple of iterations because some of the teams obviously oversubscribed and some of the other teams undersubscribed. But eventually, surprisingly, adults know how to settle their differences. And we managed to get people to commit in the teams that they want to commit. On the process, we make sure that we focus on outcome over output. And I remember when I joined, it's all about output. I've been told, the first thing that the CMO said to me is can you just tell me what the engineering team is doing? It feels like they just play ping pong all day. It's like, shit, it's first week in the office. Yes, and then I took a lot of time to educate them, let's focus on the outcome. It's not the output. So we introduce OKRs and make sure that all the management do is the objective. What is the objective? What are we trying to do here? And give the freedom to the people to think about the key results. And that's what we did. Make the work feasible. When I joined, they did Scrum, and it was a stand-up. And I remember I joined every stand-up, and it was what I did yesterday, what I'm doing today, what's blocking me. And I remember a lot of the conversation was, I had one-on-one yesterday, I'm going to have one-on-one today. And I'm just like, I don't care. You're adults, I trust in how you use your time. What happened with the work? Where's the work? And turn out everything is hidden in Jira. So I decided, okay, let's make it feasible. Let's scrap Jira altogether. Let's go back to the basic. Let's put everything on the wall. So that's what we did. Use their existing process, put it on the wall, make it feasible. And it's amazing how the conversation changed from me to the work. And I think that is the most important thing for them. And the one thing that I insist on them is focus on flow, focus on flow. I'm a big fan of Lean. I study Lean a lot. And Lean has a lot of misconception in the Western world where people just think about Lean as removing waste. But Lean is really about flow. And when you remove waste, it's really to increase flow. And that's something that we implemented in Campaign Monitor, which is focus about flow, focus about flow. And there are 3 different areas of blocker to flow, which is Mura, Muri, and Muda. Mura is caused by variation in the work, and sometimes when you have specialized workforce, when you have specialization, some people get overburdened more than the other people. Some people, a lot of the work go to that person, And that's going to cause a lot of issues in the flow. Muri is overburden, which is caused by Mura, which is when a person is utilized more than the other people. And Muda is the waste, which is a lot of people in Lean knows it as the 8 waste at different ways. That's the direct blocker for flow. I'm not going to go into that, but it's into more details, but that's one thing that we try to implement in Campaign Monolith. So on the architecture side, in order for the cross-functional team to have complete ownership end-to-end, they need to have ownership of the systems that they build. Unfortunately, we have a big, fat monolithic 15 terabytes of database SQL Server and 700 stored procedures. It's almost impossible to have any ownership on anything like that. And because the team used to be one big monolithic team, Conway's law prevailed. They created a huge, massive code base, basically. So what we decided to do is to move to microservices and then slowly chipping away on the monolith so the team has ownership on the system that they build. And to me, every team should have full control and ownership end-to-end from the moment they understand about the customer, delivery into production, and supporting the production. And that's the full ownership model. But it's not an easy journey because, as I said, it's a massive database and everything was in the data center as well. And I love this book by Elia got read, The Goal, which is about theory of constraint. Basically, you can go as far as the weakest link. And our data center is obviously the weakest link. So the first thing we did was journey to the cloud. We moved everything to the cloud. And it was just lift and shift, basically. I had no time to optimize for the AWS or for Google Cloud, whatever. It's just lift and shift for now. Because we want to remove that barrier of people creating new feature by procuring a new system all the time. So that's the first thing we did. The second one was free the data. That was literally the slide that I used when I was selling it to the company. So we had a big fat database, and I remember when I joined and I said, we're gonna go microservices, and the database admin pulled me inside into a room and said, you're an idiot, Harry. What? Why? No matter how much you're gonna slice the application, you do realize that we have this big fat database. Every microservice is still gonna talk to the database. And there's nothing you can do. So I remember that was just like, shit, what do I do? And then we look at every single ways of slicing that database, and everything is just gonna be painful. And there's no way the business can stop for a prolonged period of time for us to do that. So what we decided to do is to create an event stream. So we did a dual write to the database and to the event stream, and every new features that we do is gonna listening to that event stream. And that's creating a bit of like a greenfield situation over there once you listen from the event stream. And that helps a lot in unlocking the growth that we wanted to do. So to summarize everything that I said, for us, a self-organizing team is a cross-functional team with T-shaped members who have a get things done attitude and a desire to learn, motivated by a strong purpose that is aligned to the company's goals, has the autonomy to reach those, has full ownership of its environment, and are coached and supported by servant leaders. However, after doing all that, I do feel like, hey, it's a really good engineering team. They get shit done. They deliver very, very quickly. They iterate very quickly. But I feel like that. I feel like driving a Ferrari in the middle of a flock of sheep, because the business is not ready. No matter how good your engineering team is, if your business is not ready, you're stuck. So that's why when this opportunity comes, I couldn't resist it. My role is the Chief Product and Technology Officer, or C3PO, I call it. It's a rare opportunity for me to combine product and technology and be able to have full ownership end-to-end from the moment the idea is being conceived to the moment the value is being delivered to the hand of the customer. And that's why I took this challenge on. It's only 6 weeks in, but I feel like starting to breaking down the silos. Every single team in hipages is a silo. There's a design team sitting together. There's a product team sitting together. There's a mobile team sitting together. There's a data team sitting together. Everything sitting together. I'm just like, what? So as of this week, we're moving towards a cross-functional team, and we're getting marketing to join the team as well and sitting together. And it's amazing. So I'm very excited. This is how they used to do planning. The whole executive and VPs will sit in a room together and build this. And just like, if you guys ask me to do this, I'm going to shoot every one of you. So there's no way I'm doing this. So what I told them is, the only thing we're going to do is focus on what problems we want to solve as a company. We're going to align on the problems. We're going to give it to the team for them to solve the problems and tell us what the solution is. That's what we're going to do. And I was fortunate enough that everybody has the buy-in. We managed to align to top 5 problems we're going to solve in the company, and that was done in 3 hours. That previous thing was done in a day. So it's still very early, but that's my journey, and I hope that in the future I can come and talk about hipages journey. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Herry.